and amazing. And today we're looking at part of my journey to inferiority complex. And number one, it was questioning womanhood. All right, questioning womanhood. So what is this thing about womanhood that I had? Number one, I had 6 mothers. I was blessed. I had 7 mothers actually. My 7th mother is the one who raised me. She raised me from, I think, 8 years up to when I grew up and became a full woman. And then I had my biological mother, okay, that is mommy 6. Then the 5 were my stepmothers. So I had a lot of mothers who raised me. But one amazing thing about my dad was he wanted to bring all the children together and let them grow under the same roof, of course, giving them equal opportunities and all that. And in that process, I saw 3 of my stepmothers. I met 3 of my stepmothers, and I met 3 of my stepmothers. And so the other thing which hit me was I didn't see the rest of them. I didn't get to meet some of them. And some of them gave the kids up to my dad. They gave my siblings to the family, and they never came to visit. That thing disturbed me as a child, and I kept asking, now what is being a woman about? Do women carry value? Do they have anything to offer? How is life so unfair that I give birth to a child and I just surrender my child to someone, and I have no access to the child, and I just have to live like I've never given back? That thing disturbed me. Now, my mom was kind, and I knew she would allow these people to come, because one of my stepmothers would come home and check on these people, check on her son, which was a good thing. But the rest of them not coming disturbed me, and it left a permanent damage in my heart, okay? So from this, I started thinking, what does being a woman mean? What does it mean to be a woman? Because I realized the African context actually attached womanhood to men. First of all, I have to be a wife to be called a woman enough. Now, no matter how much I've achieved, even if I had everything, built houses and all that, and I'm not married, they tell me I'm not worthy. And so that left a question within my soul, like, what's being a woman about? Then number 2, I have to be a mother. Now, if I am a mother of daughters, I am still not a mother enough until I get a son. There are a lot of women stuck in that trap of getting, sons, and more especially if you married a man from a culture, the Lubarakakwa culture, you're going to find that a lot of the women feel incomplete. A lot of the women feel bad once they don't have sons, because they have been taught that, an ideal woman needs to bear sons, and it's a son who can make you settle in a home. So a lot of women are in that pain, struggle, and all that because they do not have sons. So I kept on wondering, now, does it mean that a woman's value is only based on sons? So that was it. Now, when I went to school, I had an experience with IRE, Islamic education, religious education. And I realized that it also promoted, polygamy. A man had the right to take 5, 6 wives, but a woman wouldn't, And sorry, 4, it's not 6, sorry, 4. A man had the right to take 4 women, it was allowed. And that's made me question further. So even religion is in alignment with this. Christianity says, a woman should cover up herself, when she's talking before the crowd, you should cover yourself up, don't leave your hair out. And all these things made me question, but what's wrong with being a woman? Is it a crime? What have women done that, it is always against them? Even the one who sinned in the Bible first was a woman. So all these things made me question womanhood. I didn't feel comfortable being a woman. I hated it being a woman, because I knew that life didn't have much for me. I knew that my fate was already sealed because I'm a woman. I knew that, destiny had nothing for me. So that was the first journey to inferiority complex for me, being a woman. And now, of course, this transitioned as I started growing up, getting into relationships. I was a little bit reserved, You're getting into these things with a thing like, maybe he's going to hurt. Maybe he's going to do the same. Because I'd seen it all around, It's allowed, culture allowed, and all over around it was normal. And so I just feared. And so I had to put a bar around me and say, no man is going to hurt me. So every time you're with people, then you'll put that guard to protect yourself. And a lot of women are married with that kind of a mentality, People are married but with kind of mentality, you never know, this guy is cheating on you, don't put in your all. When you get into a relationship and you don't put in your all, then you're wasting your time, right? So That was number one. But one thing I learned out of all these things is as a woman, you have the right to set boundaries for yourself. How many wives do I want my husband to have, for example? Because I've seen women, a lot of them draw into bitterness after they realize their partners are picked for five. When you were women, a lot of them tend to become bitter, angry, and all that kind of things. Because I remember one of the critical advice I received from one of the married people whom I once mentioned. She told me, "You're lucky you've gone to school. If I were you, I'd not get married. I'll just have kids." And so that advice stayed with me. And so you'd see that the more women you sacrifice so much, you put in so much into this relationship, you have maybe put away your dreams, and you thought this thing was going to work. Now that the guy has picked another woman, you're getting bitter and angry. Can you set clear boundaries for yourself? Where do I go? Where do I stop? What can someone do to me? When my husband chooses to marry a second wife, what do I do? Now, these are clear boundaries you need to draw for yourself before actually getting into a relationship, so that you know what to implement in case when the time comes. Every organization has that. Before you get into every organization, they teach you the rules and the regulations, their policies, sorry. When you go to a school, it's the rules and regulation. They keep telling you, this is what we expect from you. This is the time you're supposed to report. This is the time you're supposed to exit. Do you have those rules for yourself as a woman? Or you're just simply going to tolerate anything? I've seen a lot of us are promoting, actually not really promoting polygamy. It's men's nature. Because as women, that's what we're being taught. And a lot of us are falling into diseases. We're getting into infections. We're promoting, allowing our sons to get sicknesses and all that because we think it is men's nature. Now, women and men are not in a competition. We are totally different people. We're complementary. I want to say, like, would be called complementary goods. We need each other. You get it? That's what womanhood and manhood is about. A woman brings in discipline to the table. Once we have children, my presence as a woman brings forth discipline. And the presence of a man brings confidence. So when you combine this together, it makes a human being complete. It makes a child complete. And so if either of this is missing, then the children are going to have traumatic events as they grow up. And so that's why you see now a lot of us are broken. I always tell people the first heartbreak any child gets is from their parent. It's either from your mom or it's from your dad. The day your dad cheated on your mom and you found out, it broke your heart first as a child, actually, before the mother. The same to the mother, So when we're doing parenting and we're looking at these things, we have to understand that. You first need to understand your role as a woman. So when you understand your role as a woman, then you're able to serve a community better. And any woman out there, I want you to know you're very important. You're so beautiful. I don't care which skin color you're in. I don't care which body shape you have. There are people who tell us that you don't look beautiful in that body. My friend, that body is only yours. I don't care if they tell me it's big or what. You are perfection in your body. You're wonderfully, fearfully made, and that's a reminder from me to you. And have a very beautiful day. And I love you with the love of Jesus. I just hope you've accepted His Lordship. Bye-bye.